Okay, so I'm gonna do this on my phone because I'm playing XCOM 2 I'm sort of playing XCOM 2. I'm waiting for it to load the next mission, which always takes a while on my computer, so I can't really use my webcam. I've been debating whether or not to talk about this publicly, but because I usually keep these things private, just because every time somebody goes, "Oh, pray for me," I just feel like people are fishing for sympathy, and I'm not built that way. I've only told 2 people about this, but my dog Katie and my dad's dog is in the room somehow. He's now sniffing at my dirty jeans. Those jeans are actually important to the story. My dog Katie, whom some of you know, has a form of epilepsy. She's been having seizures for about 2 years. Usually they're about a month apart. A month or, one point she went like 9 months without one. But on Tuesday she had an episode in June, literally the June 21st to July 21st, she was fine. Then on Tuesday, or on Wednesday rather, she had a seizure. And then she had another one back to back, and then she was recovered. And so we just went on business as usual, got her outside, brought her in, and my dad put her out again. And then, I don't know if she got into anything. Honestly, I checked my backyard. I don't see mushrooms. I don't see anything she could have gotten into. But she had one. Sorry, I'm just checking on her. She's right here. As you can see, I've been trying to get her to eat. So there's cheese and, wet dog food or soft dog food everywhere. Oh, Lord. Getting pills down her throat has been fun. But she had another one. And then she never really came out of it. Like, she was in that post-seizure deal. And then she went into another one. And another one. And she started, they're called cluster seizures. And she just started cycling. We were on the phone with the vet when she started cycling, when it just wouldn't stop. And we couldn't get down to Ostrander Vet Clinic it's in Mount Elgin. It's been my parents' vet clinic for like 25 years or something like that. And the ER vet, which my dad does not like, the ER vet in London, which I'm going to say they're awesome because they saved my dog's life. But my dad doesn't like dealing with them. And also ER vets are super expensive. Which is why she came home, because we just couldn't afford to admit her to the hospital, even for a night. So she was, we were in. But when I just looked at Dad and said, she's not stopping. And my dad was heading out of town. Like, my dad is a dog show judge, and he was judging his first show in like 2 years. So he was actually heading out of town when this started. He and Mom had gone out to get the rental car and come back. And this was all happening while he was getting the car loaded to leave. So Mom and I jumped in our car, went to the emergency vet, which during a pandemic is, you have to buzz. You can't go in with them. You can't stay in the building because it's a sterile environment. You have to wait in your car or wait outside, and which is its own separate issue. But she had, I think, the grand total 7 to 9 seizures in a day. And they pumped her full of Valium, which stopped the seizures. Valium stopped seizures. I actually have a vial of it. They gave me a vial of it in case she had another one and if it started to cluster again. But she hasn't had one since, and they put her on anti-seizure medication, which is basically a sedative. Incidentally, one of the same sedatives they tried to do public executions for. Or actually still do, because the U.S. is fucking barbaric. Watch John Oliver's thing on public executions, on lethal injection. It is just absolute insanity. Human beings, we suck. Anyway, but she, they managed to calm her, get her seizures, get her temperature down, because when a dog's having seizures, and this is true for humans, your body heat rises and you can actually go into hypothermic shock. And also, like, you can overheat and you could die. And so they had to calm her, they had to cool her down. Once they got her stabilized, they started running some blood work. There was nothing real, no toxins that they could tell. So, like I said, she was in having them for 2 years, but they were really spaced out. One of our vets said, look, if unless they're happening more than once a month, don't worry about for a few months consecutively. Don't worry about it too much. And now of course she's having them. So, and thankfully the anti-seizure medication they gave her is relatively inexpensive, so we can afford it. Which is a dumb thing to say when it's your dog's life, but unfortunately OHIP doesn't cover pets, even though it fucking should, because a pet is more of a member of your family than some of my fucking family. Seriously, there's a few of my cousins I wish would just fuck off. They know who they are. The Hatchies, not any of you. You're cool. Anyway. I'm sorry about that. I'm really upset, and because the last 2 days have been really trying. It didn't help that on Tuesday I got my second Pfizer shot, and Wednesday the side effects hit me like a freight train. Like I had a headache, I had upset stomach. I had to lie down for a couple of hours, and then she starts having them again, and so I feel like I have the flu. And I'm running around with this sick dog and trying not to lose my fucking mind. And, but we brought her home. Yesterday, she didn't really do much, didn't really eat or drink, which the vet said is normal for a dog that's recovering from this. The drugs we have her on are making her a little lethargic because they're sedatives. And her system has to get used to it. Game won't load. Anyway, well, it's loading. It just takes a while. Especially with the amount of mods I have on it. I've gone a little mod crazy with XCOM 2. Anyway, but I just noticed there's a Keurig on my top floor. It's my old Keurig. I don't know what to do with it. It still works. It's just the coffee tastes like shit, so. Anyway, my dad's dog is now sniffing at her like, what's your problem? I'm 14, I'm moving around. Fuck you, old man. Anyway, it's basically her attitude right now. But Katie, she's doing better. She wasn't eating or drinking, so I got a syringe and a glass of water, and I gave her 3 full things of the syringe to try to get her hydrated, and tried to get her to eat, couldn't get her to eat. Like I said, it was absolute hell getting the pill down her throat. But then, like, as you get, the debris that you saw, but then I took her water dish, her water bowl, and I kind of stuck it in front of her face, and she freaking devoured it. So I went and refilled it, did it again, and she drank it all. So I'm gonna, cut her off for now. And then in about an hour or two, probably an hour. I think every hour I'm gonna try to get her to drink a little bit. Even if it's just with the syringe, just to keep her hydrated. Food I'm not too worried about. Dogs can go a bit without eating, but it's the hydration, because she's really sluggish right now, and it's because she's dehydrated. But her breathing is fairly normal. Like, I'm watching her breathing. Yeah, she's breathing normally. She doesn't have a lot of strength. Yesterday she kept trying to stand up, and it wasn't working for her. This makes me a bad person for laughing at it, but it kind of reminded me of like a foal. when a foal's been born and is trying to stand. It's the same kind of thing. Oh, and my dad's dog is lost. He's old. He's 14. So, and he's nearly completely blind. So I'm just gonna. No, Cameron, here you go. Oh, there he goes. All right, he found his way up. All right. He's 14. He's partially deaf, and he's pretty well blind. Like, the way it was put to be is he sees shadows. Like, he can see, like, right here, but anything else is just no. It's fun watching him outside because of his nose, he can find his way around. But every once in a while, he'll, like, walk into something and be like, that's there. Okay. Note that for the future. He still has his wits about him. Like, he still knows who we are. It's not like he's senile. But anyway, but as for my dog, she's doing better. Like, right now, she's resting. She's been in pretty much the same spot for for the last 48 hours. Well, not 48 hours. 36 hours, I guess. You know, I'm just going to try to keep her hydrated, all that. And we have her on meds, and I talked to our vet yesterday. We can't get her into our vet until at the earliest Monday, but we have enough medication to last us until then. And basically the message was to keep her hydrated, and, you know, like, and I said, well, she's kind of lethargic. Well, it's just the after effects of the drugs she's on. And with dogs, sometimes it can take like 6 weeks for things to really settle with them. Oh, sorry. The game is finally loading up, so I'm just gonna mute. But yeah, I just wanted to give everybody an update on, you know, or let people know what's going on. I haven't really worked. Like, my XCOM 2 is kind of work because I'm trying to set up a stream. I'm trying to get back to where I was a few weeks ago. I keep having some false starts, but I haven't written a word in like 3 days. I've done a little bit of journaling, but, you know, just like I just, you know, I'm trying to focus on this, and, you know, I might be able to get some work done today because she's doing a little better, but I also got to make sure to keep her hydrated. So, ADHD, so hyper-focusing is really easy for me to do, but it's also really, really easy for me to get lost in something else, so I want to make sure that I'm keeping on top of this. But yeah, anyway, that's what's going on. I'd also like to shout out, and I know that they might not want me to do this, or at least I know she won't, but to Sensei Wood and Julie, thank you for talking to me on Wednesday night when this was happening, and I thought she was going to die. Like, I didn't think she was going to survive, and I was preparing for it. But they kept positive thoughts, and they talked me through it. Julie especially was really encouraging, really positive. You know, saving my sanity once again, and yeah, and I'm, you know, so thank you to, I've already thanked them privately, but thank you to both of them for keeping me sane at a time when I really didn't want to be, and yeah, so that's it. I'm gonna upload this, and I'm just gonna get back to what I was doing. I just got to keep an eye on her and make sure she's hydrated, and we'll see what happens. And yeah, see you guys later.